This is my Black Mirror episode, and it was called Arkangel. This episode was about a single mom, and her young daughter. And at the beginning of the episode, they were at the park, and she ended up following a cat and ended up getting lost for a little bit. And the mom was very, worried and anxious that she couldn't find her for a while. And then she turned to this new thing called Arkangel, which is a tracking implant that was implanted into her head. And the pros and cons of it was that she always knew that she was safe, and she was able to monitor certain things, and through the Arkangel she was actually able to censor bad things, so it would blur her vision to bad things, such as there's this really mean barking dog as she'd walk to school, and when she had the censorship on, it censored the dog out, making it so that she didn't ever see bad or graphic things. But this also created a lot of non-trusting issues in the relationship, because it always felt like there was a third person in the relationship between the two of them, and the Arkangel was sort of like a person, and really showed that she was different than other kids because someone was always watching, and she was known as the tattletale because someone was actually watching, which was her mom. And it actually ended up affecting her by being always censored to everything, that when her mom got rid of the censorship, that she wasn't used to it, and it was a real shocker, and she started acting out. But overall, I think that it's a good idea, but it was taken too far in this sense, because it affected the relationship between the two, and what meant to be a good thing just to make sure that she was okay really took over the mom's life, and just made sure that every aspect of her life was perfect, and she was always being monitored. And I don't think that's a good thing for a child to be monitored 24/7. Today there are a lot of child tracking devices, but you are actually not able to implant a tracking device in anybody as of right now, because there's no source of a battery or anything, so it is impossible to implant a tracking device to track them 24/7. But there are many other options, such as Life 360 is just an app that tracks you 24/7 wherever your phone goes. They make these smart watches for little kids to wear that track them during the day, and allow them to call if they need to in case of an emergency. Child tracking devices are available, but they're not permanent. They're always going to be an optional thing that you must either wear, or some sort of app, or some sort of bracelet that you'd have to charge every so often. And I think that a good connection to our book was FOMO, fear of missing out, and this was really shown by the mom. She really took over with the Arkangel, because she was really just at the beginning wanted it just to make sure she knew where she was, and then she started using it, and she was constantly just watching her live feed of her every move, and you could obviously tell that she had FOMO when she wasn't looking at the iPad screen with the live stream of her daughter. And here's a clip from the episode. This is obviously a very drastic example in the show by her mom actually catching her doing cocaine, but this is obviously an issue because there was no sense of like trust in between the relationship, because at this time the mom got rid of the screen and the daughter didn't know that she was still had it, and the mom was secretly keeping tabs on her, and this created a real bad relationship and ended up ruining the relationship totally at the end of the episode. And the daughter ended up beating up the mom to near death and ended up running away. So I think that the Arkangel was a good idea in a sense to make sure that she was okay, but it was taken too far, and that it was a bad thing, and that it shouldn't have happened to the certain degree that it got to.